all our meetings are held here. God has blessed us with the atmosphere of peace, serenity, facilities. Those facilities need to be maintained. And so we continue to ask that cooperation. We have no other state other than this one. This is our only state in this nation. And so we continue to defend it, we continue to listen to views that will help us. No leader knows everything. So we continue to consult.
The Minister of State for Petroleum, Obong Ekberikpe was at the event, conveyed the warm wishes of the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to the celebrator and pledged partnership for the unity of the state. The retiring primate, Dr. Emmanuel Josiah Odofia, appreciated God for protecting him throughout his 65 years and service in the vineyard of the Lord, describing the governor's presence at the event as an honor to him, the church, the Odoiwan community, and the Ika people in general.
Let me also thank all our distinguished guests for taking time out of your tight schedules to attend this service. Mighty God grants you wisdom to guide the good people of Akbc State through your inclusive leadership, effective developmental strides.
The African Archbishop of Calabar, Most Reverend Ofiong Mensah, who preached on the prerogative of mercy, described mercy as leniency, compassion, and favor extended from a superior person, and thanked God for the grace in the life of the celebrator. Patience Joel, Akbc News.
An 84-year land tussle between Ikoritidong and Ikoridong in Saratai and Ikpinukum in Uran has been successfully put to rest by the Akbc State Boundary Committee. Trees were planted to demarcate the boundaries between the communities and signal an end to the land disputes which began in 1940. A government house reporter, Otobi Malkun, says that the state deputy governor and chairman, State Boundary Committee, Senator Akun Iyayi, supervised the peace initiative.
Senator Yarayi thanked stakeholders from the disputing communities for their decision to embrace peace, pointing out that the administration of Pastor Moino remains committed to peace in the state. She described Nsretai and Uran as key local government areas in the development of the state and noted that the peace deal will create room for more economic development and youth empowerment in the areas. She assured that the road which shows the demarcation between both local government areas will be properly tarred, while the land will be utilized for agricultural purposes by the government.
Agreement between the two communities for lasting solution to the crisis that had taken lives, properties destroyed. And that solution was for government to come and take over the land. These two local government areas are very strategic to the development of Akwa Ibom State. Hence, the need to maintain peace here. Without peace, there can't be unity.
In their separate remarks, the member representing Sretai State Constituency, Prince Anifiota, and his Uran counterpart, Dr. Itoretam, thanked the chairman and members of the State Boundary Committee for bringing peace to their areas. The appeal for active involvement of stakeholders and youth of the areas in the proposed agricultural programs for the two local government areas. The transition chairman of Sretai, Mrs. Ememi Banga, noted that the peace will bring an end to loss of lives and property in the areas.
1940, if you calculate it, out of 84 years, K1 is lives has gone. People have died. Can't die when it's on me. But I give God the glory. I put an end to it in front of me. Let me also use this opportunity to appreciate our governor who has in his time put an end to it.
Rural Local Government Transition Chairman Soweyo Inebong said the utilization of the disputed land for agricultural purpose will boost the economy of the state.
Your Excellency, I would plead. My voice on Arise Agenda Agri Adodi #1.
Goodwill messages were received by the State Surveyor General, Mrs. Ememi Sam, paramount ruler of Nsreta Local Government Area, His Royal Majesty Edidemi Taokon. That of Ruran, His Royal Majesty Edidemi Cosmos Nkanga, as well as youth representatives of the communities.
Then more come by say no, the deputy governor. One. Demike meyene sanga innovation bang dinami.
Ini ni kena diroke jommi. Abase ben di deputy governor di. Ya adi senemen. Ko fori dong tap.
So ibane mai karam ukara. Memang bah. Buseke di line up kan seletai awan akara agere mem. Komanya di ye kanyen. So ke mana titi.
Otobi Mokun, Akbc News.
Governor Moino says his administration will provide free healthcare services to the people of Ikoripede and Eket senatorial districts. He made the announcement at the funeral of Deaconess Emily Ebong in Eket. A Government House reporter, Patience John, tells us more.
Speaking at the Eket Senatorial venue of the funeral, the governor said the proposed free medical services is to afford opportunity to those who could not access the exercise area held in Uyo and those who are not able to foot their medical bills. According to him, his administration will continue to provide for the health needs of the people, condoling the bereaved family, including Mr. Victor Henry, a member of Akwa Ibom State Environmental Protection and Waste Management Agency, on the death of their mother. Governor Moore urged them to be consoled.
Because
in a similar development, Governor Moino has condoled with the family of Deaconess Comfort Akbaite of Afaratai in Eket local government area. Until her death, Deaconess Comfort Akbaite was the women leader of All Nations Christian Ministry International. At the funeral held at Government Primary School of Afaratai, Governor No gave a marching order for the renovation of the school, including the perimeter fencing, which is to be completed within 2 months. Governor Moino advised the family to stay strong and commended them for floating a foundation, Heart of Comfort Foundation, to keep their mother's memory alive.
Thank you for the Heart of Comfort Foundation that has been launched today.
You're watching Akbc 45 News. Still ahead, NLC suspends nationwide protest. Also, in Daringang house demolition, victims cry out for help. These and more after the break.
This is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's all a man, and you know, we go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we be. You know, it's all a man, and you know. No matter where we be, we are one.
Welcome back to the news. The Nigeria Labour Congress last night suspended its 2-day protest all over the country. The NLC, in a communique at the end of its National Executive Committee meeting, said the objectives of the protest were achieved on the first day of the demonstration. However, Labour says the nationwide action continues today with simultaneous press conferences across all states of the Federation by state councils of the Congress, including the national headquarters. Meanwhile, the NLC has reaffirmed and extended the 7-day ultimatum by another 7 days, which now expires on the 13th day of March 2024, within which the government is expected to implement all the earlier agreements of the 2nd day of October 2023 and other demands presented in the letter during yesterday's nationwide protests. A new executive to administer the affairs of Upum Development Union (UDU) has been given its oath of office. The 29-member executive has Elder David Udo as chairman, Mr. Philip Kennedy vice, and Pastor George Udo as secretary. The inauguration was performed by the Board of Trustees of UDU in collaboration with the Upum Traditional Rulers Council at the Upum Council of Village Heads premises, Ikoretam, in Ikona local government area. Esther Moran reports.
The committee members who were selected from each of the 29 villages making up Upum were sworn in by Barrister Iberuka Ekanen, the chairman on the occasion, and Obanwana one of Ikono. Engineer Okuni Ikono lauded the creation of Upum Development Union, which he noted covers interests of members within and outside Nigeria, thus promoting bonding and unity of the area.
And we volunteer and commit ourselves that can be
the chairman of Upum Traditional Rulers Council, Etidong, Peter Etok, who gave brief history of the Upum Development Union, said membership of the union is open to designated representatives of the 29 villages of Upum, either by birth or by marriage, with the aim of promoting love, unity and development of Upum. The newly sworn-in chairman of Upum Development Union, Elder David Udo, appreciated God for making it possible for him to be selected, and to the people for bestowing leadership of the union on him. He assured the people of readiness to undertake his responsibilities diligently for the good of Upum in the society at large.
We are coming to make peace. We are coming to bring unity. We are coming to build Upum, and we cannot build in rancor. We are going to reach out to them to come forward. Let's join hands and build Upum.
The women leader of Upum Development Union, Obonga Wanima Bongakpan, was among dignitaries who gave good messages.
I mean, no one is disappointed. Even I am disappointed. Say, Nana, we live on that. If I find you money in Canada, if I do for you, indeed, I'm some people, indeed, we send down the references and come together for the development and for the peace of our community. It took me a long time. I don't know what you get in a hand and but how do we see the societal problems and the human crisis
Esther Umorin, Akbc News.
We are homeless, sleeping outside at the mercy of elements, miscreants, and threats of snake bites. These are cries of the victims of demolished buildings in Tanyang, its local government area, in a Save Our Souls message to the state government. Edom Sai reports.
the villager of Ntayangitam in the two local government area, Tredong Valentine Ifyongodong, who declined to speak on camera, said he has only been served with a court order by the plaintiff. However, owners of the demolished buildings who decried the behavior of the Didemikoridem family mentioned that they were not served with any court process or a court judgment or any notice to vacate the land before the demolition.
I'm getting here now. I saw my house demolished and several other houses being demolished. So I was surprised when I asked what happened. They said they had a court order. I said, what court order? When he didn't serve anybody with any letter. They said they had served letter and they had served letter. I said I wasn't served any letter. I got this land in 2021. That I did in 2022. And throughout my period of working on this land, nobody had ever come to tell me that this land.
Others admitted that they have entered into negotiations with the Didemikoridem family of Ikorobiatai to rectify encumbrances in the land acquisition process to save their buildings. Meanwhile, members of the Didemikoridem family have stated their position on the contentious parcel of land. The Didemikoridem family statement was jointly issued by the chairman of the family, Elder Chibon Ikoridem, Secretary Mr. Gideon Edidem, as well as Edidem Iniobon King and Otuekon Udeme Edidem. Prospect Chambers, attorneys to the Didemikoridem family of Ikorobiatai Itam, made available to Akbc 45 News a copy of a quit notice and notice of enforcement of a court order pursuant to judgment of 22nd November 2018, which vested ownership of Ekpenepe on the Didemikoridem family.
In the instant case, the matter was decided since November 2018, and they had 30 days to appeal limited. But till today, till the execution of the lawful order for possession, there is no appeal pending. So the owner has to go in whatever means to take over his land.
The attorneys alleged that a notice to quit the land dated 2nd October 2019 was duly served on illegal occupants, all farmers, trespassers acting through one basis Sundatum, and other land speculators, as well as all persons squatting unlawfully and erecting illegal structures on the said parcel of land.
The Didemikoridem property is measured to be around 8 hectares. While he developed 5 hectares by planting all palm trees and harvested them since 1962. And he had been in lawful possession and occupation of that land without any inhibition till around 2010. Then some young men claimed that the land that belonged to them was the property of Itam Development Company and started selling them to innocent members of the company. And the members who bought this land did not do thorough investigation to know whether that man had title or not.
And on that note, we conclude our package this morning. But just before we go, a quick reminder of some stories that made headlines. So brought you a report that very soon students of Akwa Ibom origin and those of United Kingdom will be part of an education exchange program. This follows an agreement between Akwa Ibom State Government and the London Borough of Southwark at Government House, Uyo. Ikorodom Mkwarito Road in Ika will be wearing a new look, as Governor Moino has promised to construct the road and also establish an oil mill in the local government area. He made the promises during a Thanksgiving service in honor of the Primate Emeritus of the African Church, His Eminence Dr. Emmanuel Udofia. Also told you that a lingering land dispute affecting the villages of Ikoritudong and Ikoridong in Nsadatai and Equinukum in Uran has been settled by the Senator Akuneyanyi-led State Boundary Committee. And that's some victims of demolished houses in Taiyang have sent pleas to relevant government agencies to save them. They are saying they now sleep outside, victims to elements. That's the package this morning. Thanks for your time. My name is Mercy Ikere, and here's wishing you a productive day. Good morning.
Coming up on TPI.
I started having some problems and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch my breath.
Hello and welcome to TPI. I'm your host Muyiwa. As always, thank you for tuning in. We don't take for granted that you are choosing to spend the next half hour of your time with me. I promise to make it worth your while. Now, first up, the young man you're about to meet was only 9 years old when his father was deported for selling drugs. He was left with his mother, who was an alcoholic. His childhood left him broken. His search for identity led him to accept invitation to a hip-hop church that changed his life. Take a look.
I had a teenage dream like Katie. I'm doing what I love and they pay me. 2 years in the fan still waiting. Guess the pass on point like Brady. I mash on a boy like Navy. Rage on the stage, make the crowd go crazy. Put the tune up, pack it up, rack it up, have it looking like a trap house in the 80s.
Stephen Malcolm is a young, biracial kid from the Midwest. Mother is white, pops is Jamaican. I come from nothing, bro.
Been trying to get to know my older self and get back to the music.
My mother was physically and sexually abused growing up, so she runs away. Grows up in the system, meets my dad when she's in her 20s, he's in his 40s. 2 months they have me. So yeah, hands her $200 and is like, yo, go get an abortion, I'm gonna go to work. And he comes home, she hands him back the $200 and says, I'll leave. He's like, nah, stay, I'll accept and love both of y'all. Ended up, choosing to sell drugs. Got busted when I was 9, deported him back to Jamaica. That was the last time I seen him. My mom grew up addicted to alcohol, heavy. Someone like, I get from school, she got 40 down in it, you know what I mean? So I raised myself, bro.
Yeah, now I feel the glory on me. Glory, glory.
That was my life, bro. And then everybody, around me was like, you should come check out this hip-hop church. Check out this hip-hop church. And I'm like, bro, that don't even sound like real. Like, hip-hop church, never heard of it.
2009 in the dark, chasing. All I had up in my heart was basic. I had to pick me apart, was jaded. Got me creating this art, proclaiming.
Man, one night, got invited. It was like the 4th person. I was like, let me check this thing out. I had nothing to do. And it was the first time, bro, I seen young black and brown people that look like me, dress like me, talk like me. But, bro, they're worshiping Jesus, bro. And it just blew me away. Just was looking for identity, bro. Looking for purpose, and I was looking for that at 19 years old, and I walked into a hip-hop church. Gave my life to Jesus, surrendered.
About to break every curse on my family tree. Got to the brush and he painted the dream. He showed me the things that I needed to see.
I wanted to follow Jesus. What does that look like? So my pastor and all the homies came around me, showed me, live out this fellowship, discipleship, be in your word, stay prayed up. And I just surrounded myself with that. Now you see me here, man. God, took it and said, yo, do this for a career, bro. Go, be my tool, and give me glory.
It's the lifestyle of the young and way.
So, like I said, Pops is Jamaican, you know what I mean? So I always try to add some Jamaican flair in there, you know what I mean? So this is album 3. How do Jamaicans say 3? Tree.
That's a major killer.
Album Tree, I thought, and I think about my walk, like I just explained, I came to church, I wanted to get rooted. I fall, but I got back up, bro, and carried my cross, bro. And so I've stood firm. And through all that, man, I've watched a lot of fruit. I'm rooted, I stand firm, I bear fruit. Sound like a tree to me.
Look what he did for me.
I'm an artist with no limits, you know what I mean? And I always tell people God has no limits.
Summertime, and it feel like every day. Summertime, and it feel like every day.
What Stephen said is so true. God has no limits. If he can use hip-hop to help a young man find his identity, there is nothing that God cannot do to reach you. Don't go away, because after the break, the son of music legend CeCe Winans shares his unique journey to faith.
And that's when I would say that my relationship with God was pretty non-existent. It's never good to live two lives, you know? There became a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, a lot of conflict with family, culture, kind of what I know in my head versus what's actually happening in my heart.
Your Turning Point experience doesn't have to end when the program is over. Follow us on your favorite social media. Welcome back. CeCe Winans has led millions of people into the presence of God through her music. However, she couldn't reach her own son with the gospel. Despite growing up in the first family of gospel music, he wanted nothing to do with God, so much so that he moved to the other side of the world to escape his godly heritage. But like the old saying goes, you can't outrun God. Here's his story.
Grew up with two strong Christians as parents. I grew up in church, so I was familiar with church and hearing about God. And it wasn't until, I don't know, high school where I got a little bit of independence. I realized that my faith began to be kind of get in the back seat of my life and other things took precedent. And that's when I would say that my relationship with God was pretty non-existent. It's never good to live two lives, you know? And I think I had gotten to the point to where, given that my personal life wasn't really matching, there became a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, a lot of conflict with family, culture, kind of what I know in my head versus what's actually happening in my heart. I thought maybe I should leave the city. Maybe I should find another place to live for a few months.
Growing up as the son of award-winning gospel singer CeCe Winans, Alvin felt the hard tug to get away from his widespread celebrity family, the church, and God. But he struggled to find a place just